and the mics will be on, so. They're on. So I'm just making everybody aware that the mics will be on, so.
I'm on my way out. That's already gone to the house. I'm good, but it's just today, it's just coffee. That's the dry coffee. It's right there.
When the cough is cough, make sure you just turn to the left.
I do the same thing for my son.
But not this left, your other left.
All right, let's get started. Call to order. Nancy, would you read the sunshine notice?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the 2023 meeting dates was published in the Courier News and Burnsville News on December 8, 2022, and posted at the Municipal Complex in the Borough Library. Action may be taken.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich? Here. Councilman Lemma?
Here.
Councilwoman Murphy? Here. Councilman Portello?
Here.
Council President Sweeney?
Here.
Councilwoman Weibel? Here.
Okay, I'd like to open it up to public comments, 5 minutes per person for non-agenda items. Anyone in the public have any comments on non-agenda items? Anyone online?
There is one person online, and they're not stating they have any comments.
Okay, so let's move to old business. I have one item of old business. I had sent out an email earlier in the week with respect to the Warren Blue Ridge. They had two requests with respect to the deer hunting. The first request was to use the DPW site instead of Rockaway Meadow. I concur with that. It was used in the past with that incident, and it's a better site than Rockaway Meadow, which is kind of a long, narrow strip of land. And the likelihood of deer ending up on someone's property are probably greater there. And then the second issue was the use of ATVs to bring corn for the feeders and to park the deer out. That would be for that limited purpose, and they would repair any damage. I spoke to Brad Fagan about actually the request was made directly to Brad. Brad just did not have an issue with our events. In fact, he volunteered at the DPW site. So if there's concurrence, what I'd like to do is just do an amendment to the agreement that we just did, just to modify those two response.
Is that ATV each day that they hunt, or just to set up kind of feeding stations? Just
when they had to refill the feeders, and obviously they would have them with them, because if they get a deer that day, they would use it to go back and forth.
Yeah, just asking, just like not to bother the neighbors, like.
No, I agree. My initial reaction was no, in part because I didn't want ATVs running all around our parks. And Brad uses an ATV as well. So there's not an issue with that. They've been very respectful so far. In fact, Brad had indicated one of them was a Bedminster police officer who would be coming here to so they're not exactly strangers to the area.
Yeah, okay. As long as they know that if there'd be complaints about the noise, we would have to revoke that.
And we have the ability to revoke under the agreement.
Great.
So do we have consensus to move forward with it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Any other old business?
Just one item, so I wasn't present at the last meeting, the discussion on overlook on the trucks. I read the minutes and I saw that there was some concern about having to get a scale to weigh them. I did a little bit of research, and what I wanted to mention was the trucks that would be subject to the overweight limitation by law have the tear weight, cab weight, total weight imprinted on the truck itself. So you wouldn't need to weigh it because it's right there, as well as the registration probably has the weight limits as well. So I think you're researching it. I wanted to throw that out there. And the resident at Overlook and Main Street reminded me that he had his fence torn out twice.
Overlook and Mendon?
Mendon, yeah. And also, I believe that was the location where the tractor trailer came through, ripped all the pipe.
That was Jackson.
Was that Jackson?
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah, it was Jackson.
I could have sworn there was another incident like that caught it.
I think it was Jackson twice, honestly.
Was it?
I
Okay.
think so.
And Chief Ronte's running an incident count for me, just for
Okay.
that.
So I just wanted to add that to the deliberation and we'll chat about it at a future meeting.
Thank you.
That's good news. Any other old business?
If I can just go back to the agreement
Yes.
with Blue Ridge Sportsman, what I would suggest is that you add a resolution tonight to authorize acceptance of the modified agreement. That way it's reflected in the resolution.
Okay, so
Because we've made some changes to the agreement, but we can't really accept the modified agreement by concurrence. We would have to authorize it by formal
we
resolution.
would have to do it by resolution, but I
Yes.
don't have a modified agreement. I wanted to make sure that everyone was okay with it. And we'll have an agreement for the next meeting.
Oh, you want to do it next
Yeah,
meeting?
we'll do that for the next
Okay.
meeting. I mean, I don't think it's their hardship.
Okay.
Okay, any new business?
Just one thing I'll make mention of, for those of you who aren't on the distribution list, the police department's having a coat drive this year, and that'll start on today, on the 10th, and it'll go to December 15th. They'll be accepting coats, mittens, scarves, cold weather gear, and just drop it off at the police station. I'll gladly accept it and distribute it to them.
Okay, now we come to,
One more
one more new business.
Yeah, so, Nancy Brown and I were at the staff meeting for the sewer, and, recently, and Nancy, do you have the materials? I can maybe kind of show them.
I don't have them with me,
They were
They're down,
emailed to
yes.
everybody, so I don't know if you had a chance to go through
Yep.
them. So net and net, one of the grants that we're gonna receive, they require the town to also put in a substantial, like, it's a small percentage, but it's still a substantial amount of money towards the STEM sewer project. And that would be in the amount, I think it came out to
approximately $187,000. $186,400, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And it's, our flow is, so what STEM is, it's a shared project between Far Hills, us, and Bedminster. We have more flow, so we have to pay a higher percentage than they do. So it's a substantial amount of money, but we're getting a 1.whatever.
We're getting a 1.4
The grant.
grant. We're getting between two grants, we're getting $2.6 million.
You're welcome. It's a better part of 2 years.
So,
Yeah,
and it's
so-
moving along at this point, so that's good. So it's just, that's the news. That was kind of like, whoa. But then if you look at the full project, it's something, it's infrastructure that has to change, it has to be updated. I've been to the site,
It's desperate.
it's desperately needed.
Jill, I'll just add that if we didn't have this grant, we would be putting in so much more money into the capital fund. This is a bargain. So we're getting $2.4 million for $180,000. And you saw how bad the infrastructure was there.
Yeah,
This will
I
fix
can attest to
all
that,
of it.
yeah. So that's news.
And we have more than enough fund balance with sewer cover.
We have more than enough with SOAR to cover it. So we're fine that way. It's just something that we needed to bring so that everybody was aware of what was going on.
Yeah.
But it's something that we need to move forward with, so.
Okay, but you don't need any action from
No,
us
at this point, we
It's
just wanted to
good.
let everybody know so that when we did come up with the 100, saying that we were doing the 186, we
Wasn't a
wasn't.
shocker.
It will be part of the staff budget when it's at year end.
It should be part of the staff budget for next year. We may have to do a resolution this year to move it in, only because the federal government is asking for certain paperwork, so that may be something that we have to do.
I'll mention also, we're gonna underspend this year's capital budget for sewer, so step money.
How much are we understanding?
Well, so what they're doing is the following. There were a couple of critical projects that they're using the money for, but anything that could wait to be covered under the grant, they're deferring.
Oh, I see.
So I don't have the exact number, I wouldn't want to get it on the record as to what it is, but it's tens of thousands of dollars.
Great.
Is that a joke?
That's it.
Okay.
No more, no
All
more.
right, any more new business? Before I go out to the audience. Okay, moment we're all waiting for. Eagle Scout presentation, come on up.
Good evening, members of the Borough Council. My name is Thomas Little, and I'm a resident of Peapack, Gladstone. I live at 5 Lincroft Drive, Gladstone. I am a Scout in Troop 150, and I'm currently working to become an Eagle Scout. Achieving the rank of Eagle requires completion of 21 required and elected merit badges, and a demonstration of Scout spirit and leadership in the troop and the community. But most of the significant requirements is planning, development, management, and completion of a project that benefits the community. I would like to extend my thanks to the Mayor, Councilwoman Murphy, and Mr. Bacon of the DPW for assisting me in planning the project to refurbish the Scout Cabin in Ridley Park. My project will consist of activities on the outside and the inside of the building. Outside, we will be removing the shutters and the screens that cover the windows. Each window will be scraped, sanded, and the holes filled. Then they will be painted. In addition, the 2 sets of front doors will be sanded and painted, and we will add weather stripping to keep out critters. Inside, I will work with the DPW to remove the larger items that are not needed, and the recreation department to clean out the room where they have sorts of things. Similar to the outside, we will scrape, sand, and paint the inside of the windows. Each of the 6 small rooms, 2 lofts, and the large meeting space will be cleaned top to bottom. In addition, we will build a box around the electronic panel that can be locked, and I will clean a display cabinet that will remain in the Scout Cabin. And finally, we will be restoring the wagon wheel chandelier by removing the rust, repainting it, and adding new bright LED lights. Throughout the project, I will coordinate with the DPW to remove, store the screens, discard the shutters and trash, and remove and reinstall the chandelier. I've estimated the project will cost approximately $1,100 for materials, tools, and supplies. I will be raising funds through a GoFundMe account. I will reach out to my troop, friends, and neighbors for youth and adult volunteers. For the project, it will be completed over 5 to 6 work days, most of which will be on the weekend. The goal is to get the outside work done as soon as possible before it gets too cold, and work on the inside where there's heat. The goal is to complete the project in time for Santa's arrival in December. I would like to thank the members of the Borough Council for their support for my project and scouting. I can't wait to get started. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thanks, Tom, that was perfect.
I gotta tell you, that's outstanding. That's an incredible amount of work you're doing. We don't have any public bidding problems, do we?
I was wondering if you're trying to get 3 Eagle badges at once.
For sanding the sills of the carpenter's hobby, what are you going to end up using to make it as easy as possible? An electric sander, random orbital sander?
Just hand sanitizer.
Elbow grease, I think it's called.
Brad, if you have a random orbital sander, you might be able to loan them with the appropriate grit paper. That might make most of the go a lot easier. I could loan you one.
And Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, he's also in communication with the Historic Preservation Committee about items, and Amy might be able to elaborate. I'm not sure if she's had a discussion yet with them. We're going to keep one cabinet, not the big ones that Amy got donated. We just can't find enough material that's safe to basically store in a cabin that's not seasonal, right? Or is seasonal, excuse me. But there's one smaller kind of half-height off-glass cabinet that the Historical Preservation Committee is going to come up with enough items to be able to have one of those 6 rooms be, the historical room, and have some things hung and displayed. So I think that's going to be really exciting for the town.
Right.
And then, just as an aside, and I talked to Thomas about this, I would love to see this as as kind of a stepping stone towards maybe being able to use the cabin a little bit more. Maybe come up with a plan of possibly allowing people to, rent the cabin for local events or things like that. So, we can talk as a council when this project wraps up and see where we are. But it's really, really nice that Thomas is going to put this effort into cleaning up the Scout Cabin. We all love it, It looks.
You get to keep any wild animals.
You can have those critters. Yeah. I'll help you with that part.
I think it's going to be a great project. I noticed in the cabin there are some Scout memorabilia items there. Do you have any intention of preserving those? Or maybe that's even something you consider in the cabinet because they are at this point historic, right? Maybe the cabinet's focus is historic items about the cabin plus the Scout items that could be part of that. So we could have more, in-depth conversation about that. But
Yeah, I was giving those memorabilia to the Historical Society.
oh, okay. We love receiving more stuff. Yes, that's great. We'll work together on it.
Maybe the cabin could be used for scouting again? Yeah, I mean, I would love to see it available for people to reserve or rent, I mean, we're getting the top lot is getting redone as we speak, and, it'd be nice for the community to have a space to use,
That would be another option beside the gym.
Right, exactly. So, a discussion to have down the line, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Now, in order to get your badge, you have to stay for the entire meeting.
I told him that was not true. I did, I said they're allowed to leave. I do have another miscellaneous. I wanted to mention that Brad got 2 bids for the tennis court, which I forwarded on to Bill Ryden to get his opinion, but basically, at this point, the tennis court needs pretty much a complete redo.
Makeover.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of patchwork, redo is just not gonna cut it with the amount of damage, so the 2 bids were pretty different, and when I forwarded them to Mr. Ryden, I kind of explained, I don't know how to interpret this, right? I need your advice, because one was just over 200,000 and one was just over 100,000, so both pretty expensive, but a big difference.
Yeah.
And so, just to let you know, that's coming, and that's gonna be a decision we have to make. Obviously, or not obviously, I would assume that the entire amount would come out of the open space fund, since it's a rec-based,
Open space, combination open space, right, you probably do.
Yeah, so anyway, I'll be looking forward to getting some feedback from Mr. Ryden, and then we'll have to make a decision, and I would assume it's something maybe we could do in the spring.
And we don't need to put that out to bid, we can do that by.
They're all in the contracts currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamie, is the surface going to be concrete in both of those bids?
No, it's like Nova, I can send you the bids.
It has some elasticity to it?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
like a specialized tennis.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, both companies, it's the same covering.
Okay.
I'll forward them to you just for your sake.
Okay.
Which is actually one of the reasons why repairing it is problematic, you can't just throw asphalt on it.
Okay, exactly. And the substrate has to be repaired. And then the other question, and you may have covered this already in the previous discussion, will it be lined for both pickleball and tennis?
Yes.
That's good news. Good news moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay, reading and approval of minutes, regular meeting of September 26, 2023. With a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemon?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portella?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble? Aye.
Okay, resolution. We only have a handful of resolutions, so rather than do a consent agenda, because we're actually appointing individuals, I thought we'd go through them one at a time. Resolution 188-23, appointing Joseph McChesney to become a writing member of the fire department. With a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemon?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portella?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble? Aye.
189-23, resolution appointing Brett Bailey to be accepted as a member of the fire department. So, motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemon?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portella?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble? Aye.
So will that be our third pagan on the fire department?
Brett, how many do we have now?
There's more.
No, there's more than 3.
Five brothers, and then
myself, my cousin Kevin, yeah, it's like 10 of us.
You outnumber the Sweeneys, I know that much.
You changed the Fagan Fire Company.
Well, Hill's another name.
Oh, yeah.
Two different families, still.
You're right.
Okay, resolution 190-23, enter into an agreement with Outdoor Associates to do a survey of 55 and 59 Willow Avenue, also known as the Tucker property. Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello,
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel.
Aye.
Okay, lastly, resolution 191-23 to appoint Killian Schlager to become a junior member of the fire department. We have a motion.
Move.
Second? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello,
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel.
Aye.
Okay, the bills, we have a motion for the approval of the bills, please.
So moved.
Second? Do we need to pull any items from it?
So
Go ahead.
I have one question, but Brad can answer this in real time, because I just didn't know what it was, and Nancy wasn't sure either. Rallies Outdoor, all right, for $1,675, Christmas pole wraps.
All the garland go around the colonial lights in the park.
The lights we didn't have last year, or the year before.
Okay. It just seems like a lot of money to put garland around for lights, so.
Well, there's 10 of them.
Is it reusable, Brad?
They come with lights and.
Oh, okay, all right, so it's not just the 3 copper colonial lights?
No, it's the one that's around the entire park.
I see.
The stand-up ones.
With lights built into the apparatus, okay, that's,
And reusable.
okay,
Yes. And reusable as
So
well.
a bit of an investment.
okay, awesome.
Yeah, Brad did talk to me a little bit about it, so.
Okay, thank you, I no need.
I just had a question because I didn't know what they were. The Strobes and More blankets, the cheap warning lights and the warning lights blanket, 1,800 and 1,500. I went on Strobes and More.
We order replacement wheel lights for our apparatus all from them.
Okay, it was the blanket thing that confused me because when I went on the website, it was all lights. Okay.
Oh, it's one of those lights that you just drape them over the bushes.
Okay.
Any other items on the bills list? Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello,
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel.
Aye.
Okay, mayor's executive summary. None. Okay, public comments on agenda items only, 2 minutes per person. Any public comments on agenda items? Hearing none, can we look online?
No.
And before we adjourn, I'm going to make a motion that we go into executive session for a brief discussion under litigation. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Yes.
Councilman Lemon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello,
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel.
Aye.
You know what, Brad, you
You want
You
to
actually
say, do you have
said-
any input?
yeah, but it doesn't bother me.
Here's some bad news, Brad.
This is a right, you and I keep it right,
No
right?
rice, no rice.
That's some rice notes.
Do you want me to put a sign out?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, so the purpose of the executive session is Jamie sent out an email.
I just gotta shut the computer off. There is in the drawer right there